Hello and welcome. Have you ever stopped to think that the words we use for our family, mom, dad, brother, sister, aren't just simple labels, that they might actually be a kind of blueprint for our entire culture? Well, today we're going to decode that blueprint. We're going to go way beyond just memorizing vocabulary and see how a language like Mandarin doesn't just describe a family, it actively defines it.
So let's start with a pretty big question. Can a single word, something as basic as the word for brother, really act as a key to unlocking an entire society's values, its history, its social structure? Well, I'm here to tell you that it absolutely can. And by the time we're done with this, you're going to see exactly how these simple family terms reveal some incredibly profound cultural truths.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at this idea of language as a cultural map. Then, we'll build our understanding from the ground up, starting with the concept of home. From there, we'll define the parents, and then we'll get into the real heart of it, the sibling hierarchy. Finally, we're going to tie all these linguistic threads together to see what it all reveals about the culture.
All right, let's dive right in. You see, when we learn a new language, especially one as rich and as ancient as Mandarin, we're doing so much more than just learning new labels for things we already know. We're actually engaging with a completely new worldview. Think about it. Every word, every piece of grammar is like a little fossil, preserving the values and priorities of the people who created it. We're about to become linguistic archaeologists.
Every family structure needs a foundation, right? And in Mandarin, that foundation is built on one single, incredibly powerful character. Before we can even begin to talk about the people in the family, we have to understand the space they occupy, not just as a physical house, but as a core concept in society. Okay, let's take a close look at this character. This is Ja, and it's pronounced Ja. Now, let's break it down. At the top, you can clearly see the roof radical. That makes sense, right? It symbolizes shelter, a building. But the really interesting part is what's under the roof, the character for pig. Now, why a pig? Well, in ancient agricultural China, a pig wasn't just an animal, it was a powerful symbol of wealth, of sustenance, of prosperity. So right from its very origins, the idea of home in Chinese isn't just a shelter. It's the place of shelter and sustenance. It's the fundamental economic and social unit all packed into one little picture.
Okay, so we've established our home, now let's bring in the people. And we'll start at the very top, the parents. And right away, Mandarin forces us to make a distinction that we often just gloss over in English, the critical difference between formal and informal ways of speaking. So first up, we have fumo, pronounced fumu. Now this is the formal, almost legal-sounding term for parents. It's made up of the formal characters fu for father and mu for mother. You'd see this written on official documents, or you'd use it in a very formal speech. You would never, ever shout, "Fumu, dinner's ready." It really represents the abstract concept of the parental unit.
Now here's the word you're going to hear all the time, baba, baba. This is dad. And let's really focus on the tone here because it's everything. It's the fourth tone. It's sharp, it's definitive, it's falling. Listen closely. It starts high and just drops. Ba. Let's try it again. Ba. It's almost like a gentle, firm statement. The second syllable is neutral, so it's super light and unstressed. The whole word sounds like this, baba. This is what you use every day. It's the term of affection.
And for mother, we have mama, mama. Now, notice this beautiful tonal contrast. This is the first tone. It's high and it's perfectly level. It's like you're holding a single, clear musical note. Listen, ma, again, ma. So let's put them side by side. Father is baba, that sharp drop. Mother is ma, high and steady. That difference in tone is absolutely critical. And just like with dad, that second syllable is neutral, mama. Now, getting this right is so important, and there are a few common traps for new learners. First, you absolutely cannot mix up those tones. If you say baba with a high flat tone, it doesn't mean dad. In Mandarin, tones change the meaning of the word completely. Second, let's talk about that B sound. In English, when we say a word like boy, we let out a little puff of air. Try it. Put your hand in front of your mouth and say boy. You feel that puff? For the baba in baba, there is no puff of air. It's what we call unaspirated, and to an English speaker's ear, it actually sounds a lot more like the P in the word spot. It's ba-ba, not ba-ba. And finally, don't forget that light, quick second syllable. It's mama, not mom.
And now we get to the real heart of our lesson today. This is where that cultural blueprint just becomes crystal clear. Think about it. In English, I can just say, "This is my brother." Simple. It's a complete sentence. But in Mandarin, that sentence is linguistically impossible. It's incomplete. The language itself forces you, every single time, to specify one crucial detail: their position in the family hierarchy. This slide here lays out the fundamental divide. In everyday Mandarin, there is no generic word for brother or sister. There are only specific words for older brother, older sister, younger brother, and younger sister. And this isn't just an optional detail. It's not a matter of being polite. It is a grammatical and a cultural mandate. So let's break them down one by one. First up, for an older brother, we have ge, pronounced gega. Now, the tone here is the first tone, the exact same high-level tone we used for mother, ma. Listen again. Gay. One more time. Gay. The full word with a neutral second syllable is gega. And remember, this word can only be used for a brother who is older than you. Now, for a younger brother, the word is didi. Didi. Do you hear that tone? We're back to the fourth tone, that sharp, falling sound, just like we had with ba for father. Listen. D. Again, D. The full word is didi. The tonal contrast here is so clear. For older brother, it's ge, high and level. For younger brother, it's di, sharp and falling. For an older sister, we use the word jie, jie. Okay, now this brings in the third tone, which can be a little tricky when you're starting out. It's a falling, rising tone. Your voice actually dips down and then comes back up. Listen very carefully. Jie. Can you hear that little scoop in the sound? Jie. The full word is jie. And again, this is exclusively for a sister who is older than you are. And finally, to complete our set, for a younger sister, we have mei. And we're back to that sharp, falling fourth tone again. Listen, mei. The full word, mei. So there we have it, our complete set of siblings, each with a very specific term that is tied directly to their gender and, most importantly, their birth order. Let's quickly review the pronunciation here because it is so important. You have to be able to distinguish between these tones. Let's run through them. Jie is first tone. Di is fourth. Jie is third. And mei is fourth again. Another common mistake is that J sound in pinyin. It's a sharp sound made with the tip of your tongue right behind your teeth, like the J in Jeep. It's jie, not a soft zh sound, like in the word leisure. And just like with parents, that second syllable is neutral, which is what makes it all flow. For instance, if I say, 她是我的姐姐, she is my older sister. Did you hear how the second jie is really light and unstressed? That's what makes it sound authentic. Okay, so we've learned the words, but now we have to ask the most important question of all. Why? Why does the language insist on making these distinctions? This is the moment we go from just learning vocabulary to truly doing cultural analysis. And here is where it all comes together. The fact that you must say older or younger isn't some random linguistic quirk. It linguistically reinforces the importance of age and hierarchy in every single conversation you have. This is a direct reflection of traditional Confucian values, where a stable society is built on everybody knowing their role. The older sibling has a duty to care for and mentor the younger one. The younger sibling has a duty to respect and listen to the older one. Your language reminds you of that social contract every single day. And the same goes for the formal versus informal terms for parents. It teaches you situational awareness. And it all goes back to that first character we learned, jia, the family unit as the core of society. It's a collectivist ideal embedded right there in the language. So here it is, the crucial takeaway. In many Western cultures, family hierarchy is often an unspoken understanding, right? It's an implicit rule. But in Mandarin, it's not unspoken at all. It is explicitly coded into the most basic words you use to talk about your family. That social structure isn't just understood, it's spoken. It's constantly being reinforced. So let's wrap this up by thinking about how we can take this powerful idea and apply it beyond just this one lesson. Because understanding this principle is really the key to moving from being a student who just memorizes words to becoming a truly culturally fluent speaker. So the next time you're learning a new word in any language, I want you to try to shift your mindset. Don't just ask yourself, what does this mean? Ask those deeper questions. Why does this word even exist? What need does it fill that my own language doesn't? What does its structure or its sound tell me about the priorities of the people who use it? That, right there, is the path from simple memorization to genuine understanding. And I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. We've just spent this time using Chinese vocabulary to decode Chinese culture. But what happens when you turn that lens back on yourself? What hierarchies, what values, what hidden assumptions are encoded in the English words you use every single day without even thinking twice? What unspoken rules are hidden in your own language? That's a question worth exploring.